Led Zeppelin 2, 2014, Jimmy Page remaster. This album was originally released in 1969, October. It was kind of recorded between January and August of that year while the band was touring. Some of it was recorded in England and some of it was recorded in North America. A lot of people have always said that it sounds a little bit distorted and stuff like that. I find that the original CD from 1986 kind of shows that it has a bit of distortion in the master. Some people say that this edition, the Jimmy Page remaster, has a little bit of distortion. After listening to it now, it's just a little bit plumper and a little bit more superimposed, but there's kind of a little bit of distortion in there somewhere. But I like that, this was a very popular album at the time. It's still touted as one of their best albums. It's what shall I say? It's the one that got to #1 as well on release, I think. So yeah, it's pretty good. A good showcase for the band as well. Yeah, I like it. Classic Zeppelin. So the album was engineered by Eddie Kramer. It was the first time he worked with Zeppelin. And it was a gatefold. Song track listing are here. It's 9 tracks in total. Not a lot of detail here. It just says mixed at A&R Studios, New York, with Eddie Kramer. Artwork by David Juniper. That was a photograph from the First World War that was doctored. There was an aircraft there. You can see it online if you go search for David Juniper. Yeah, the artwork is cool. You get a nice gatefold. Previous copies used to have a kind of a little monogram of a Zeppelin here, but now we get the hologram seal of approval, the real McCoy. But yeah, this album is a cracker. It really is. Again, there's very little details in here. Just get the inner paper bag with the poly line on the inside. Yeah, pretty nice. And also the album is on 180 gram. As you can see here by the tag that comes stuck to it. You got to remove that carefully. Side 1 kicks off with Whole Lotta Love. It's a blaster, really is. Probably one of the most famous riffs of all time. And then you got the, it sounds like a bulldozer, like, you know what I mean? The way the bass and the drums go, they're fighting each other and stuff. Yeah, sounds like a big dredger or a big kind of earth mover. Yeah, and then there's the middle section with the kind of, I call it the kind of dangling part where the cymbals are ticking away and there's all these effects and plants screaming and roaring. I think Queen kind of copied this a little bit too in Get Down Make Love on News of the World from 1977. There's a middle section where it's more of a kind of a accentuated bass and drum beats going through it, but yeah, it reminds me a little bit of it. Track 2 is What Is and What Should Never Be. I love this one. It's really cool. I like the chords on it. Great chorus as well. Nice solo by Page. It's a nice one. This is one of my favorite tracks. I remember buying this album back in 1989, actually 35 years ago. And yeah, it was the first Zeppelin album I ever bought, and I really like it. Lemon Song, that's kind of bluesy. Of course, there's a credit here to Burnett, and also a Whole Lot of Love as a credit now to Dixon, Willie Dixon. Lemon Song, yeah, I just think that it's 6 minutes actually. I think that could have been on the first album. You know, it kind of it reminds me of "You Shook Me," and then of course there's the sped up piece. It's not bad. It's good blues, you know, but it's I think it kind of overstays a little bit. And then "Thank You." That's a great song. Great vocal by Robert Plant. Quite emotional. It takes us into kind of more mature Zepp there straight off. Yeah, that's one of the best songs on the album. Side 2 kicks off with "Heartbreaker," big monster riff from Jimmy Page, and of course the guitar solo in the middle. So yeah, it's like kind of a live thing really. Yeah, then you've got "Livin' Lovin' Rick, She's a Woman." It's retitled here. It used to be called "Livin' Lovin' Maid." That one, yeah, it reminds me of Blue Oyster Cult or something as well. You know, it just steams ahead. Good track. I like it. It's quite short as well. 2:39. Then "Ramble On." This is kind of going into kind of acoustic territory. Yeah, nice track as well. Reminds me of what was to come on Led Zeppelin 3. Yeah, again another very popular Zeppelin song. "Moby Dick." This is John Bonham showcase. Good drum solo and stuff like that. It's good. It's interesting. And then of course you got "Bring It On Home" again. That's a kind of you know, almost, you know, gut bucket blues. Again, Willie Dixon is credited here. So yeah. So yeah, it's good stuff, and definitely essential in the Zepp catalog. In the inner, you can see the 4 names here: John Paul Jones, Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, and of course John Bonham, the immortal drummer. Yeah, I always like the thing about the Zeppelin. It reminds me of war comics and stuff like that. You know, they're menacing, they're gigantic, floating in the sky above. You know, it would have been you know, quite scary to see them back then when they were prowling, kind of like dinosaurs of the sky, really. But it's just, you know, this large phallic symbol flying through the sky. Yeah, I can understand why it suits Led Zeppelin. And there's the track listing. Yeah, "Living Loving Maid." I wonder why they changed that. Yeah. Anyway, still great album. Doesn't really matter. So there you have it. That's Led Zeppelin 2, 2014, remastered by Jimmy Page. The guitars really stand out in this one, I can tell you. It's actually very good. The first one's very good as well. And yeah, certainly worth investigation if you've got an old clapped out copy. Like I said, I've got the albums, but they're from Alsdorf, Germany in the mid to late 80s, and they're not bad, but I really think these ones sound far better. A lot of people, of course, would like to get a very early pressing of this, and they're becoming very expensive now if you want to get a mint, but I can imagine they'd probably sound fantastic as well. But anyway, yeah, that's it. That's all there is time for today on this one, and thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe and take care.